This is the Energy Shift Show podcast, where we talk about spirituality and how to live your best life today. All it takes is a shift in perception. Hello, beautiful souls. Deb here, and I'm so excited you're joining me for today's show. As CEO of the Harmonic Sovereignty Studio, my goal with the podcast is to motivate you by sharing insights and also take you along as I speak to knowledgeable people that I have found inspiring to me throughout my years as an energy medicine practitioner and intuitive guide. I cover topics that I'm passionate about, all things under my 3 pillars of Attune, Anchor, and Amplify. Attune into your energy and your inner wisdom to gain clarity on what truly matters for your passion in life and your well-being. Anchoring grounds your insights with practical tools and daily rituals that support sustainable, soul-aligned growth. And amplifying, well, that elevates your impact and vitality by expanding your energy, sharing your gift, and creating lasting change from a place of alignment. Now listen up for this exciting episode to begin. I will read the disclaimer. This podcast and the topics discussed stem from my own curiosity and desire to learn and should never be taken as direct medical advice. I am not a doctor, dietitian, nor any other medical professional. Please always consult your trusted provider regarding your health and your wellness. Welcome back to the Energy Shift Show. I'm your host, Debbie Sodergren. Today we're going to start where you actually are. Today, I want to share with you the truth about the cohort that is not happening in August. No one was signing up, so I did what I teach. I stopped, got in the garden, grounded myself, talked to my guides, and they said plainly that I wasn't ready to run it, that you weren't ready for me to run it, and that owning that out loud was necessary. A few of you have reached out from the previous podcast and had a question, and it's a good one. How do I know if this is right for me? And the answer is not about commitment. So then, what actually is the answer? It's asking another question. What's the right way to start, if not with a program? That's exactly what I want to unpack with you today. Not a big ask, the right first step, taken in the right order. Because I think a lot of us, myself included, get this order backwards more often than we realize. And it's costing us more than we know. I spent nearly 3 decades teaching business owners how to read their own energetic signals before making big moves. This time it turns out, I needed to take my own advice. There's an order to this work, and I talk about it constantly on the show. Attune, Anchor, Amplify. Always in that order, never the reverse. Attune means getting an honest current read on where you and your business actually stand. Not where you hope you stand, not where you stood last year, but right now, today. Anchor means committing to what that honest read reveals, building your foundation around what's actually true, instead of what looks impressive on the sales page. And only after that, only after you've attuned and anchored, do you amplify. You scale, you invest more, you go bigger. Most business advice skips straight to the amplify. Bigger offer, bigger price tag, bigger promise. All of it before anyone is actually attuned and anchored to what's truly for them right now. I see it constantly in this industry, and if I'm honest, I did it myself with the August cohort. I offered Amplify to an audience that hadn't yet been given a real, easy chance to attune first. I skipped the first 2 steps and went straight to the third. So this time, we're doing it in the right order. The mini assessment on my website is not a smaller, watered-down version of the big program. It's not a teaser. It's not an upsell in disguise. It's the actual Attune step. It's the honest first question every single person, including myself, needs answered before anything else makes sense. Where are you? Actually, right now. That question sounds simple, doesn't it? But it's not. Most of us are so used to operating on autopilot, meeting deadlines, showing up for clients, keeping the lights on, that we've lost touch with an honest, current read of our own business. We're operating off old data, old assumptions, old systems, stories about ourselves that were true 2 years ago and might not be true anymore. The assessment exists to interrupt that autopilot just for 5 minutes. And it'll hand you back a current, honest snapshot. Not a diagnosis, not a sentence, just information. The kind you can't act on, well, until you actually have it in front of you. Let me tell you about a woman who wrote to me last week. I'll call her Kate. It's not her real name, but the story's real. Kate has been listening to the show for months. She told me she cried during one of the earlier episodes in this arc, the one where I first introduced the energy audit. She said it was the first time she'd heard someone in my position actually share a free tool to help her understand where she is currently in her struggle. The problem was, the assessment was over 15 minutes long to complete. Ugh, the angst she experienced. Then I spoke to her in a later episode about the cohort, and frankly, that set her over the edge of overwhelm. So after that, she never took a single step. Every offer that she came across, mine included, felt like too big a leap. Too much money, too much time, too much commitment to someone she wasn't sure she was ready for. So when I gave her the mini assessment before it went live, she almost skipped that too. She told me she nearly closed the tab 3 times before she opened it and finished it. She completed it. She didn't skip it. She took the full 5 minutes, answered honestly, and hit submit. What came back surprised her. She expected the results to point to her pricing. She'd been quietly unhappy with her rates for over a year. Instead, it pointed somewhere she hadn't expected at all. Her biggest energy leak wasn't financial. It was a decision that she had been avoiding making for almost exactly a year. Whether to keep a business partnership that had quietly stopped working for either of them. She told me she read that result 3 times before it landed. Not because it was confusing, but because it was true. And she'd known it was true for a long time. And seeing it named so plainly made it impossible to keep pretending otherwise. Here's what I want you to notice. She didn't need me to tell her anything after that moment. She didn't need a program, a coach, or a course to tell her what to do next. She needed to see the truth clearly enough that she could no longer avoid it. That's it. That's the whole function of the Attune step. What she does with that information next is entirely up to her. And it should be. My job was never to make that decision for her. It was only ever to help her see it clearly enough to make it herself. So here's my invitation to you today. Head on over to harmonicsovereignty.com and take the mini assessment. It takes about 5 minutes. It costs you nothing. And there's no pitch waiting for you at the end of it. No upsell, no countdown timer, no limited spots. I want to be really direct about that because I know how conditioned we all are to expect a catch. There isn't one here. This is genuinely just an honest mirror offered freely because I believe most of you don't actually need convincing to invest in something big right now. You need a clear, low-stakes way to see where you actually stand first. Once you've taken it, here's what I'll ask of you. Don't rush to act on your result immediately. Sit with it for a few days. Let it sit next to your actual daily decisions and see what shows up. See what shows up in a conversation that you're avoiding. See what shows up if you have a rate that you haven't raised, a partnership you've outgrown, a meeting that drains you every single week. You don't need a big program to start responding to what you find. You need permission to actually notice it. And then the willingness to make one small change because of it. That's genuinely the whole practice. Not a launch, not a purchase. A practice you return to over and over as your business keeps changing and your own attunement keeps deepening. There's no cohort waiting behind this invitation. No countdown. No spots quietly filling while we speak. Just an honest question, asked as many times as it takes for you to actually answer it for yourself. Alignment was never meant to be a launch strategy. It's not something you buy your way into with the right program at the right price point. It's a starting point that you return to again and again every time your business shifts and you shift. Because the only thing constant, my friend, is change. I built the mini assessment because I believe that starting point should be available to everyone listening to the show. Whether or not you ever work with me directly, doesn't matter. Go take it and see what shows up for you. And then do one honest thing with what you find. Okay? If you enjoyed this episode, please like it and share it with someone who that you have witnessed has been struggling. That's it. All right. Thank you for trusting in me. And until next time, bye for now. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you enjoyed this episode and it aligned with your frequency and the goal of living your best life, you can connect with me at harmonicsovereignty.com or debbiesottergren.com. Check out my YouTube channel, Debbie Sodergren. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Harmonic Sovereignty Studio. I invite you to send me your questions or comments or just say hello on social media or email me at debbiesottergren@gmail.com. And remember, a shift in perception is sometimes all it takes for you